2K23.
Hey everybody, Mature Simmer here. So I realized I spent, I don't know, 5 minutes talking and was getting in to start playing round 2 here of off-season event number 2, and luckily looked over at my recording software and realized you haven't started it, because I was taking a look like, oh, how long was all that? And realized it was nothing because it hadn't been recording. So again, I was just at the menu, I was looking at things. Now the one thing that you do normally get to see that you didn't, so we'll talk through it, was the course conditions. So we are looking at low wind, hence the 3 mile an hour, and then we have very firm fairways, which I was saying could be a problem on this course. If you didn't see the first round, I think you're going to start to see very quickly what I mean by that. I'll certainly explain it as I go and we get kind of the overhead, but you can already see what we're looking at. There's sand everywhere. And it's not just kind of like the beach courses like we've played before where it's just a lot of sand on the side, but it's just a crazy bunker world. So course is insane. I've joked tongue-in-cheek in round 1 that will be the word of the event, but I've at this point fully embraced that will be the word of the event. And the greens are firm, not very firm. So again, some solid bounces when we do that, probably a little bit more roll, but not as severe as if they were very firm. And then the green speed is moderate, as opposed to the default, which was moderate fast. So the other thing I did talk about is, someone had commented that the courses in the off-season are platinum level courses, so kind of the peak of difficulty that you might see in TGC Tours. The last one seemed challenging enough. This one, as I said, is insane, which makes me wonder what week 3 is going to look like. Like, is it just going to be impossible? But if we take a look here, you can see, like, literally outside the fairways, there's bunkers everywhere. So it just requires a lot of accuracy, and so a lot of the feeling was, well, with the very firm, there's potentially danger that something will bounce, roll further, and then suddenly end up in a bunker that might not have otherwise if it wasn't very firm. So, it's perfectly normal here. Like if I hit that straight, it might just fly off. So, what I'm going to do is add a little bit of curve in there and hope that we can get a roll that's a little bit more in tune with what we need. Benefit here is you probably got less rambling because I had to redo it again because I don't entirely remember where I was at, but I'm sure we'll cover some of it as it comes to mind as far as what I said that I forgot or didn't get the opportunity to record.
Let's have a good round.
The slow's going to straighten it out. So, yeah, see exactly what I was thinking.
That's not a great one.
So, in the first round, the rolls kind of got hung up right in that heavy rough right away, but there's obviously more momentum, and so things operated differently. All right, this isn't quite going to take me down to 160, but it's going to be substantially below 187, I'm sure. So we're going to go with the 4-iron out of the bunker here. Okay, a little bit.
Sand.
A little bit on the slow. I mean, I got a good shot out of there as far as power and all. All right. Okay, good news is it's just a slow. It's not very slow. It's not whatever. So again, the firm green.
Getting out of that bunker. Little work left to do, but nothing serious.
And so where I do think, it is possible. I mean, the contours on these greens, like, they're just all over. I mean, there's some really crazy lies that I've seen later on the back part here. I'm going to go with this. Oh. I really thought it was going to pull a little bit to the left off the blade,
this one's for bogey.
and then it would come back a bit.
Rolled right by.
more. I didn't even look because I'm like, oh, it's so close. It's not going to matter. So yeah, this is not.
That's good so far.
That was just sloppy
And
play.
currently
I mean,
6 over.
I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all.
On hole number 2.
I kind of took it as a gimme, and obviously it was not.
Oh, effortlessly done.
Right.
Nice swing.
So the low wind, that was one of the thoughts I did have. Like the low wind with a very firm. At least they're trying not to make it brutal yet. I'm gonna say yet because somehow I'm thinking like we're gonna probably have some stuff coming up in rounds 3 and 4. It's probably just gonna get more and more difficult. Yeah, the goal here, you know, part of what I was talking about. Still not comfortable speaking while I swing. I think that's just going to be too distracting. And
setting up for our third shot.
I used to do that early on because, again, it's kind of like, yeah, if I got muscle memory, like it should work. But you know, that I think is a bit much. So. I mean, there's a reason in real golf that like they tell everyone on the course to shut up. So I'm certainly not going to try to go against that tradition. Like if Tiger Woods needs silence, I'm not going to be bold enough to say I don't. I probably pulled it with my swing path there.
Okay, after that one.
And yes, I get Tiger Woods as a bit dated reference. He's kind of almost fading away at this point. You know, you've got like Scott Scheffler or something, I think is the big dog on the tour right now. The one that like got caught by the police, then showed up and then like shot some insane under par round or something. So talk about someone who is good at not being fazed by unplanned events that happen.
Nice. That's solid.
Sometimes you get that weird graphic. Like I pulled back and then you saw he like jumped. And that messed me up on the first round. I had one of those and it really screwed me up on my swing. But luckily it didn't there. Okay.
Great chip shot there.
Thought it might move a bit. I was wrong.
Currently sitting at 7 over.
So
stepping on to a par 5 hole on this one.
So there's a couple holes here along the water that frankly are insane. I mean, again, insane. The word of the event. All the landing areas, everything is so thin. There's just a lot going on in all these things. But we're going to try and do stuff like that, because at least if I hit, you know, a perfect shot, which I would love to do that all the time, but I think that's a bit beyond me by a long shot. All right, we are going to go up to the 5-iron. See, this is the challenge, because like if you don't read the lie and really compensate for the lie, so I get I'm probably overcompensating. You know, I know there's been a comment here or there about like I'm acting like I'm on the moon with the lie compensation, but I just need to avoid the water. So what I don't want to do is think I can go less and then suddenly I can't. Well, that doesn't matter. If I do that, it's going in the water every time. But more like a slight bit would have been like, well, you know. So again, we're in the same boat here. Okay, that's better, but see how much that moved over. Like that was almost a perfect read, but I can't claim that I for sure was confident. I still felt I was maybe overcompensating, and clearly I was not. So that was kind of not enough on the read.
Just yeah, a little too much on there. This one's tracking.
Okay.
All right, you're
so
over currently.
But yeah, the comment that was made was basically someone said, well, these are all platinum level courses, as we talked about, and so yeah, I don't know that I'm expecting really wonderful scores on this because I think it would be difficult. So yeah, what I was commenting on is that my hope might be that because of that, even though I'm not doing great, because to really be competitive in TGC Tours, I need really to probably be shooting under par in the event in total. Okay, should be okay.
And please, sir, may I have a bounce to the right.
All right. It tends to roll off. Wow, I'm surprised. Maybe
Fine.
because it's the moderate. I mean, we did have fast greens last time.
All
right,
I've been and watch and see how you do.
I've been kind of under reading, so let's see. We'll adjust it a bit. See, well, now it's too far the other way, so definitely went way over. Yeah, more than a little bit aggressive. Just a smidge over. It's downhill. No!
There's your par.
I hate when it starts to go to the edge like that. It's crazy that the two pars have been the par threes, which usually are the hardest for me because any kind of a botched shot just totally destroys it. All right, I did a 3-wood on the first time, especially now, even though it's only a 2-mile-an-hour wind. I'm just going to stay conservative. But yeah, so, I need to be under, and so, what I had been talking about is initially, you would have heard when I went into the off-season, and, TGC Tours wasn't funded, things like that, and I was like, oh, well, it's going to take a while, and honestly, in my head, I was thinking it was going to be a month or more, because we still needed like 25%, and they're not looking to raise a small amount of money. Their goal for the year that they need to cover costs is $12,000. So, we had like $2,500, $2,700 left to go. And that was after them collecting donations for 48 weeks. So I'm like, or 49 weeks. And I'm like, it's going to take a bit. And I was prepared for that. And then suddenly when in like 7 to 10 days it got funded, I suddenly started to panic, like, oh my goodness, like I was hoping for a longer off season to just have more time to really work on my game.
Something off on that swing.
And I was a little, I was quite worried, but I would say with everything I did with the testing and this and that, I feel a lot better at this point, like if it really is just going to be 3 or 4 weeks. Wasn't a very anything, but it was a long way out and
setting up in the green side rough.
Didn't get out as far as I'd like. I just did not want to go way over, but bit much.
And here we are, just in this green side rough.
This is probably a bad thing to putt off the rough. I'm not going to dispute that, but I know that way I won't do exactly what I did, which was just roll from one side to the other. So that is my logic there. Take it or leave it. That is why I made the decision I did. I'm just, again, I know my limitations. So, but the thoughts were kind of like, if I can get myself close, like I don't think I'm anywhere near there yet. But the challenge was, if these are really significantly more difficult courses, like what would I be shooting on courses that are appropriate? I don't think I dropped from plus 29 to something that truly made me competitive immediately. So to say, oh gee, I'm ready for my tour card week 1, I'll be really confident that I'm getting it. No way I'm there yet. And I may not get there until I'm closer, but we'll see how we go. But short story is, I'm more confident that, hey, whatever time they give us, I think I'm making enough progress that it should be okay.
Great swing.
Again, I don't want to jinx things. I normally kind of laugh at the whole, You know, like,
And here's our
to me,
second
again,
shot on
that's
seven.
an excuse. Like, oh, I talked about it, you know, but, you know, I think I'm getting much more consistent with my swings, and staying away from the very fast, very slows.
Well, that one wasn't super clean.
Again, of course, that almost very quickly proved my point, you know, where I laugh about the jinxing thing. You know, I say that, and then suddenly you're, like, totally botching everything. All right. It's going to be a little short, but it should be on the green, so we're going to go with the flop. The club is, like, nowhere near. There we go. I'm like, the club's not anywhere near the ball, dude. That is, like, really badly animated, but actually it was all right. Well, good swing path. Timing not so great, but we did get on. Well, we got on. I mean, given the way these greens work, I'm going to say we got on. All right. So we got a big uphill, but then we do go down, although it looks like just a bit. There's obviously no yellow or red on the other side. So we'll be careful. Can we? No, it's going to move over more. But distance was okay. Might have been a little bit short, but again, I don't think that was the why of why things did what they did.
The 8th hole laid out right in front of us here. Let's see what we can do.
All right. I'm going to go back one. I had another one of those weird... I don't know what causes that. Like, there's nothing running in the background. Because sometimes I'll be rendering a video. Oh, come on. Really? I was happy with that shot.
No worries. We'll be on the green soon enough.
Just barely. Go in. Nope. Not bad, though.
Well
not bad.
Judged on that one.
We'll take it.
All right, give this a tap.
You know, if we had people around, they'd all be screaming with that shot when it went, you know. But didn't quite get me there. All right, we're past kind of the crazy water part. It's really that, like, hole 4, 5, 5, 6, whatever it is. Those two that are along the water. I avoided hitting the water the first round, so I was pretty proud of that, too, that I really didn't lose any strokes, but no such luck this round. So I suppose you could argue, like, hey, still doing, you know, being 6 up with that. You know, how is that bad? Is it whatever? I mean, it's not great, so I'm not going to claim it's great. Ay. I definitely had more thought going on in my head about that shot. I'm sure that's what we just saw play out. All right, given that we're losing in essence 25%, I'm going to go all the way up. We're in that mode where suddenly I get multiple shots, so gotta break out of it as quick as I can. And again, it was nice, but if I had had decent shots in those couple that were varies, I would have had a par or better. So not the play I needed on that hole, that's for sure. All right, I'm feeling the things in my head happening on my backswing that tend to result in bad results. So I need to, again, get that out of my head. Yeah, it was just challenging. It's always impressive to me how people can do stuff. You know, I've been watching some sports documentaries recently, and you know, they were talking about people, you know, how you just approach it like, hey, I think it was a racing documentary, not a, you know, golf or football or anything like that, which is kind of the others that I've been looking at. And they were just like, yeah, even though it's this crucial race, like, I'm still just turning laps. Like, I just, you know, and that's how they think of it. and that's how they perform, because it was some crazy speeds on, they were over 200 miles an hour on pretty challenging track, and they were like, you know, that's how you just do it, because otherwise you'd get overwhelmed as a human being of like the risk you're putting yourself in and whatever, and you just execute. Ooh.
Well, looks like you got some work cut out for you in this next one.
Yeah, a little bit.
This one's your third.
Alright, we're gonna go with that. I'm thinking it's gonna kick a little bit away. My God, why?
Here's your fourth shot.
I feel like I am falling apart here. Okay. Result not bad. Execution not so good, but we'll take it.
This putt's tracking.
Should be good.
That's gonna
All
do just nicely.
So again, 5 pars so far on 10 holes, so about half. No birdies yet. I think I got 2 or 3 the first round, so certainly, you know, there is that to strive for.
Nice swing.
I'm not sure. No, actually might be all right. Like, I'm not sure that's over enough. Nope, there we go, the very firm.
Right,
but at least it stayed out of the bunker. All right, we're going to pop it up, because that'll be, let's say, 10-ish. Maybe a little bit less than that. You know, or meaning a little bit more, that it'll take off 11, 12 yards. So, again, can't see the lie. And I've always said, I think when it's laying like forward like that, because obviously the slope is also going into the bunker, that it creates a little additional loft as well. So, I'm not sure. Not bad. Ooh, well, I think this was the green that I had like an insane bounce and roll too, so where I thought it was going to be nice, and then I ended up like 112 feet away. So I guess I'll take this with happiness. Keeps moving, but good. It's nearby, so I'll take it on this very challenging course. Ooh, I thought it was gonna miss on the left. Did not like what I was seeing, I'll tell you that. It was a bit.
This hole's a par 4.
All right, 417. I think we do have like one more hole that really has water in play coming up on the back 9 here.
Nice, pure swing, great stuff.
Not great path, but it works out with where I'm at. So again, having a bit of forgiveness, that's again the key of not overpowering. That's definitely what I've seen the value, where folks have suggested, hey, pull the power back, it'll help you. You know, 104, again, that's a bit high. Ah, it's going to go off down the hill. Yep, darn it. Ugh.
And that'll do. Grab
and again, that's where that 104 doesn't help. All right, uphill. So we want to make sure we have enough. Oh, wait, we have more than enough.
5-foot putt.
And again, it's not like I overpowered it intentionally or anything. Now this is down, so
this putt's going.
I want to be light.
And
man,
that will work.
That just drifts. And that is where I do think maybe that person's right. Maybe these are courses I would just never see until I got into the elite stratosphere of TGC, if I ever get to that point. But we'll see. Again, you just do stuff and you get better and better, and I played it in a way that I thought there was wind, and there wasn't, clearly, because we have low wind. I mean, it was stupid. It was a stupid way to play it. So I'm going to stick with this because that just tends to work out for me. All right, good swing all around. Still rolled off, though.
Here's our third shot.
Crazy. All right, I think it's going to have a little bit of well, there's a good amount right away. You can see on the fringe, it really goes. Like, you can see where it hits the line, and then when it hits the line down here, it's like actually quite pronounced. So, like the speed from one side of the line to the other, 2 or 3 times as fast over here. So,
Ooh, just
maybe if I didn't do that last adjustment, I would have had the bird, but oh well. And that is why this game, golf as in general, not just this particular PGA Tour 2K23, that's why golf is challenging. So yeah, here we got water in play for sure. And again, this is just a big difference of where I was at, where normally I might not even take that shot. I might just be like, I don't trust myself at all, but I wouldn't execute the shot. And I would say I wouldn't execute the shot like 80% of the time. So, that's beautiful. I'll take that. Obviously, I'm always trying to do that, but this time it did fall. So again, another one where water's definitely in play, 575. So the key is that, getting a solid shot. We'll be in the fairway, but how much did we lose by hitting in the rough?
40 from the pin.
All right, let's see. I'm looking at my chart also. Okay. So I'm going to try this. And yes, I knew the lie is leaning me toward the water. I'm in that same boat where I'm going to maybe overcompensate a bit.
Was a little off kilter.
Well, this round, everything that could go wrong with the water did. So both holes where water was in play, I went toward it. I mean, I just swung toward it. So that was just bad. So take 2. Oh boy, the lie was more than I thought. I don't like the edge. Maybe the sand will save me. It didn't.
Did you plan that one?
It didn't. Oh, it's going to put me all the way back. All right, well, now I know I need to go further. But other than that, I think the distance was good. It was landing by that bunker. It would have landed right in front of the green. All right, so 2 out of the 3 shots, decent. So yeah, so it was just misreading the lie and not giving it enough is what blew me there. But
on the green and from 25 feet out.
And that's definitely where I would say course-wise, like just the challenge of how much water is involved and how everything is sloped to. Again, I should have shut up before I putt.
Ooh, that could have been epic. Just,
could have been.
Good attempt, though.
So my swing path was definitely impacted by the fact that I just kept babbling too long. So shame on me. All right.
Swing was a little bit off.
Wow,
there.
Beautiful swing path. So, but not great timing.
Here. Let's get on out of this.
I am gonna go normal because with the down, we're gonna go what, 18, 22-ish. So it's gonna put me at 75. So I need to go up one. Yeah, well, 97. Yeah, it should still be okay. So I'm gonna do that. we'll see what kind of roll we get. Pretty substantial still. There's a hill over there. All right.
Okay, on the
At least
green
we
safely.
stayed up.
This is potentially to save par.
All right. It's a long, long way. All right.
And from way out in the sticks.
Again,
nicely done. Way to
I've
get that
got
one in.
look at the par threes on this round. I've parred them all and I've birdied one. That is gotta be a first for me.
Hole.
That is insane how I'm playing the par three. I mean, it's awesome, but wow. Oh boy.
Feel right.
That didn't, well, it did actually feel right, so
stuff.
I hate when that happens because it did not feel like I really was off. The only thing I can think on as I replay it in my head is I was looking somewhere different than I normally do, but sometimes, usually that works. Like there's a couple different focus points I have, and yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. So going back to, I guess, one comment I do want to make that's kind of been in my head. Let me take the shot here. You know, I do make comments about, well, you know, hey, it's going well, it's doing what. I mean, at the end of the day, I realize the only measure that matters is what the actual score is. So I can talk up like, oh, I'm feeling good, I think I'm executing. If things aren't falling in the hole, I'm not executing. I mean, I get that. So I don't want people, you know, having this view that I'm just, you know, blowing smoke up my own ass and thinking that everything is great when it's not. But I also am not in the school of thought of sport that, you know, constantly telling yourself you suck or you're not good enough is the way to get better either. I mean, there's definitely that positive reinforcement, you know, and even that self-reinforcement where you're... I don't know that there's any harm, and I've certainly worked with a lot of coaches over time and whatever that are like, you know, yeah, you freaking sucked, but we're going to talk about what you did well or what I saw potential in and build you up, as opposed to physically acknowledge that you, like, in the back of my mind, I know I'm sucking when I'm sucking. You know, just because the words that are coming out aren't indicating that doesn't mean that I don't understand that, but I don't see the point of, you know, self-flagellation of just, you know, whipping the shit out of myself that I, you know, and that's somehow going to motivate me, because it's not. So, and I think that may be some of the difference between some commenters and so forth who maybe get a little frustrated with what I'm saying, and think like, dude, you know, you said you didn't understand, whatever. There's a little bit of that. I mean, I get it to some degree, and in the end, I'm still, just because I said I didn't understand, I'm not like immediately giving myself the pass of, well, because I don't understand what happened, I'm not going to pay attention to what happened. Like, I'm still filing it away in the back of my head and using it as a data point, like, all right, I got to pay attention to a lie like that or whatever next time. But the words may sound a little different, if that makes sense. So I kind of wanted to address that elephant in the room, because it does come up from time to time. And I can just imagine in an event like, you know, these events, if with these challenging courses that we're having here, there may be a good amount of that comes up on these events or these rounds, because I know I'm overmatched by the course, and I'm doing the best I can, and I want to be like, you know, it still feels good, and I get it doesn't matter what it feels like if the ball misses the hole now, for example.
Looking pretty good.
Like, if that shot didn't go in, then I still made a mistake. All right. Oh, I've never heard them say, let's head on over the 19th hole. I mean, I've heard that statement in golf. You know, that's, hey, we're heading to the bar. We're going to go get some drinks. So, double the score of round one. But as we, you know, they tend to have, and especially if this is what it's purported to be, platinum level courses that you would never see in challenge level events. You know, yeah, I did double, but I think they're very deliberate in picking the courses or designing the pin placements or whatever. You know, that the designers are really good at this level to definitely increase the difficulty, which I think is absolutely what good golf to course designers and the, you know, when the PGA events are being played in reality. You know, I think pin placement for round 2 is going to be easier than round 3 and going to be easier than round 4. Like, they are intentionally ratcheting up the difficulty. Does that mean that a +8 is the same as the +4 in round 1? I don't know. You know, but I will say, like, we've got those scores on the side. On regular courses in the challenge events, like, it wouldn't be uncommon that people would be at 40, 50 below at this point. And so, you know, I do feel that they are difficult. I mean, even the infamous Mikey Angelo TV that is almost always on top. You know, this Dart Juice person. And I've not seen that name before, so maybe they're a new player. Or, again, maybe it's a platinum level player that's playing in the off season and we're seeing their score. I'm not sure. But I think it just shows, even with the scores we are seeing from the people that are doing the best, like, they seem to be lower, meaning worse. Again, golf gets confusing when you say that, because lower, like, if lower would be -40, that's better, but that's not what I mean. They, you know, they're not -40 where they might be, they're -31 is what I mean, to make things clear. As clear as I can, because I do not want to be confusing in how I'm stating things. But, you know, I think we see what's there, but I'm anticipating harder wind, harder pin placements in round 3 and 4, but absolutely looking forward to playing these, seeing how things go, because it just does feel different. And maybe it's because it's off season and I know I'm not getting scored and I'm a little more relaxed, like sometimes I might be, and then all that crap will come back when we're actually into competition again. I don't know. But again, I am intentionally thinking of that as I play. Like, okay, this feels good, I'm doing well, I'm not feeling the same level of stress. This is what it needs to feel like. I'm in essence trying to bottle up, okay, what am I, you know, what am I feeling in my body as I'm playing this? Because I know then I need to create that again if I'm suddenly more stressful, and that way I know what my target is, or, you know, it needs to be this or better, and you know, that's I'm hoping will help. So again, that's how I process, that's how I do my competitions and anything that I'm competitive in and so forth. So all right, we'll wrap that up here. Thank you for following along here for round 2. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't dropped a like, or you are not a subscriber, please consider that. And I will see you next time.